Hello, everyone. We are live streaming on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook. Hope you're all well. I can see some of you are already here. That's great. We've got lots of people signed up today. So we'll give it a couple of minutes for everybody to show their face and say hi. Quick note, somebody is posting rogue links in the chat, so just ignore them. Somebody called Livestream24. We're just streaming here on LinkedIn on this page, also on my YouTube channel, which I've linked to in the comments. So don't click any other links apart from my YouTube if you want to watch it there. And hi to everyone. Let me know where you are, who you are, and what you write. As ever, I really want to get to know everybody who's here today because I'm really looking forward to this session, which is about communities for us all. And we're here today as a community to talk about that stuff. So give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you're here. Let me know who you are and where you're from, what you write. Also, if you want to share this this live, that would be really helpful to let other people know that it's happening. And I'm sure other writers in your network would be keen to come along. So great. All right, I can see a couple of people chipping in already on the chat. I think there might be a bit of a delay, so we'll see who is here and from where. And when you catch up with what I'm saying, hi Paul, he's here from Vancouver. Awesome to see you as ever. Gabriella, welcome from lovely Brazil. Brilliant. Welcome along, everybody. Right, we've got about 30 people here. Maybe some others joining on YouTube too. So yeah, very nice to see you all. This will be available on replay as well, but I am going to do something at the end. I'm going to give something away, which is dependent on time. So if you are watching this on the replay, let's hope you've made it in time. Saad, welcome. Here from Pakistan. That's great. Saad says they've been writing since 2021. Fantastic. Great. Well, as you continue to filter in, keep going in the chat. Just say hi to everyone and tell people where you're from and what you write. It's always good to network. That's why we're here today, communities. So let's crack on. We're going to talk about communities today. Probably will be about half an hour or so, and there'll be plenty of time for questions. And as I said, definitely stick around to the end because I'm giving something away which is very valuable and I won't ever give it away again. That's a promise. So if you know me, I'm not the kind of person to do all of this marketing speak, but I really want to give something away to you guys as a thank you for coming, and stick around to the end to find out what it is and how it can benefit you. Great. Okay, let's make a start. Communities. Here we are. I'll keep an eye on the chat. I'll try and keep an eye on that. Paul is saying the YouTube feed is yet to begin. Yeah, I think YouTube may be having a data streaming issue. Hopefully it will stream, it will catch up. But we're here on LinkedIn anyway. Plenty of people here now, nearly 50 people. So welcome along, everyone. Great. Okay, so communities for pro writers. What we're going to talk about in the session today is what community is and how it can help you. I'm assuming if you're here, you're involved in writing, right? You're a professional writer. You're somebody maybe at the start of your career, maybe someone who's a few years into your career. Maybe you're a seasoned professional. But I'm Phil, you should know this by now, but I'm the English writing coach. I help non-native speakers, essentially. I help writers who use English as a second language. And we all know that multilingual writers, as I call them, should have just as good opportunities as everyone else. And that's my mission, to try and get you those opportunities. So, we're going to talk about how communities can help writers develop, can help writers future-proof their careers. And we'll talk about some options, which one is right for you. If you've got questions, just drop them in the chat and I will get to them a little bit later. Just checking in with a few more people. Mihai, hello. Good to see you here, my friend. Pete, welcome along. Thanks a lot for coming. Pete and Paul are my co-hosts on my podcast. Pamela is checking in from Toronto, Canada. Okay, that's great. Thanks for that. And Martina, welcome along. Martina is in Berlin. What is a community? Now, this sounds like an obvious question, right? You know what the word means, but what does it mean in terms of writing? And let's delve into it a little bit. I had a thought about this. For me, a community must be a group, right? You can't really have a community with one or two people. So it must be a group of some number and they must be supportive, right? The idea is that in a community, in various ways, we support and help others in the group. Sounds obvious, right? But let's continue. Without regular participation, I don't think it's a community, right? Let's say you trade opinions and critique on your friend's novel and you write to each other once a year. Well, is that a community? Not really. That's one-off help, or it's somebody who you are close to or who helps you, but really community needs regular participation. It needs people to dedicate some time to it, often just short amounts of time, but per week, right? We really need to be checking in and participating in a community regularly. Meeting others, again, this seems obvious. If you know everyone in the community, it's not necessarily a purpose-built or purpose-driven group. It is people that you already know and you're meeting for a purpose maybe, but meeting others is important for it to be a community. Meeting new people and sort of expanding your network of writers and people involved in the industry that you know. And the most important one for me, what makes a community is this: a common identity or a common goal. Without this, I don't think it's a community. A common identity might be where you're from, right? It could be writers based in Nigeria, or it could be the type of writing that you do, crime fiction writers. What is something that links you to having that identity, that shared identity? Or it could be a common goal. Where do we want to go in this community, right? So it might be freelancers sharing opportunities, right? Freelancers trying to help other people out. And what's the goal there? Well, it's to get clients. It's to build your business. Maybe the common goal is to sell more books, right? To sell your the book that you've written. Well, that would be like, an author community where, the goal is to sell more copies. So we need to have those things for anything to be a community in the first place. All right, just checking in. Alex, hi, checking in from Utah. Very nice. Why should we care about communities as writers? This one might take a while. There are so many benefits. Essentially, writing is a bit of a lonely business, and we've got the internet now, which is amazing and really helps us to build a community. Think back 50, 100 years. You were stuck with the very few writers that you could muster in your town, and they might not have shared your goals. They might not have shared your identity, but now we can find people who do. Here are the benefits. There are so many of them. It'll take a little while to go through. Writers want readers, right? So in a community, you have a ready-made group of people who are interested in what you publish. They're going to tell you about opportunities and places that your work might fit, right? Whether that is for money or whether it's personal writing. Very important, right? It can take just one person's opinion on your writing to make a massive difference. Market insight and business advice. We are living in pretty crazy times of 2023 going into 24 with lots of AI, changes in the industry, and publishing is all up in the air. There's so much new technology. It's really disrupting everything we know about writing. So it's incredibly important to have a source of information. And what better source than lots of other writers, right? And that information is going to be about what's the market doing, where's the right sort of angle to go with your business, with your writing. This one, yeah, this is one of my favorites from a community. We all need people to just pat us on the back and say, good job, nice writing. It's very, very important in terms of motivation and inspiration. You can get that from other writers when they've accomplished something. Oh, I've just had this, article published in a magazine I've been gunning for ages. Let's celebrate. It makes you feel like, yeah, I can do it too. So it gives you the motivation, looking at what other people have done, and them just reaching out and helping you and saying well done, saying like keep going. That's all we need to do as writers is keep learning, keep going, keep that motivation. I often talk about feedback and critique. There is no way around this, right? As a writer, to improve to the top of your means, your ability, you need the opinions of other people. And it's very difficult to get that nowadays because people don't want to donate, experts especially, don't want to donate lots of their time to helping your writing. And editorial feedback takes time. Cool thing about communities is writers have this shared goal. They're going to help each other out. So they can say, if you send me your work, I'll go through it and check, and I'll send you my work. And you both benefit. You actually benefit from giving feedback and picking up on these editing things as well as receiving it. We get diverse perspectives. We've already seen here today, we've got people from the Americas, from Asia, from other places checking in, Europe, all over the world. Just trying to see, we've got nearly 50 people here, so that's amazing. And some pretty diverse perspectives. This will help you. It will help develop your thinking, your writing. And it's just nice to know people with different backgrounds and different ideas about things. This is what helps us learn and grow. Of course, skill development, that's a big one. A lot of these communities are set up around learning, right? Whether that's, courses or tips or a newsletter, sort of email based, or whether it's, mentorship as well. But yeah, there's a lot of ways in which you can develop your skills. So remember, with being a multilingual writer, it's important to develop your language skills so you can become proficient in English, and also develop your writing skills. So the craft of writing in whatever kind of words you produce. Shared resources in communities is often, books, recordings, lots of like advice, tools, websites, tips. These are the sort of learning resources, and they'll just be there. They'll be shared. So it's a really good way to learn without investing like a huge amount of money as well, like doing a master's in creative writing or, expensive course. And finally, networking. Here's the thing about jobs and about writing and about clients. Most of them come from people that we know, that we have a good relationship with. So your job, if you're a freelancer especially, or if you're looking to get hired as a writer, should be to network. The more people you know and the better relationships you have with them, the more calls you're going to get, right? Editors, if they know and trust you, they're going to say, hey, I know a writer that I can call to deliver this article. If you have, got to know people in a certain company, you can reach out to them and say, let me know when there's an opening, and maybe get in there before other writers, before other people get the chance to apply. So it sounds cheesy. Your network is your net worth. That's what people say. It's very LinkedIn, but it's true. And networking is very beneficial for you. And communities are probably the best place to do it because you can actually get to know people and message them, and we're in a safe space. All right, so now we've covered that. And as I'm buzzing along here, if you've got any questions, just drop them in the chat. Just let me know. We'll get to them in the end. Options for communities. As I see it, you've got three options. Any of these three options are better than not being in any kind of community or not having a community. Now, we might think of LinkedIn or social networks or our contact list as a community. It is in a way, but I'll share with you in a minute why it's not. It doesn't function exactly like a community. It doesn't tick all the boxes that we talked about earlier in what is a community. You've got three options. Here's the first one: build your own community. It's probably the hardest thing to do. It can be very rewarding. Now, you could build your community from people that you know in your area, right? Say you're a fiction writer. There are lots of, fiction writing groups that meet up, and you can, go to a cafe. You can meet up with them. You can do writing sessions. If you're building that community, it's quite a lot of work to make sure that everyone is participating, and it's important that, remember, we have a shared goal or a shared identity. And sometimes writers just want to write. Writers want to improve. Writers want to, get hired or, build a better life for themselves. And it can be difficult to have your own purpose and also serve the purpose of everyone else in that community. I tried, for example, to build a writing group where I live in Spain, in Las Palmas. And it was an English language group. There are obviously lots of people who write in Spanish here. But as I write in English, I invited lots of international, authors and people I know along to the party. And it didn't work out too well because we didn't really have a common identity. We didn't have that shared goal. People just were there to sort of mingle a bit and share their work, and we weren't all gunning for the same thing. So numbers dwindled. It can be tough to invest a lot of time and not see a huge result. I don't want to talk down too much about building your own community because it can be the right option for you. It can be great. If you are someone who is strong-minded and you've got a clear vision about what this group is, and you're, dedicated to spending a lot of time on this, reaching out to people, constantly generating more interest, and making sure it keeps running and, doesn't get stuck, that's great. This can work well if you've got a very big network already online. Maybe you might decide, hey, let's set up a group. Could be a WhatsApp chat, a Telegram group, a forum. Could be anything that you could run, and maybe that will work well for you if you're that kind of strong-minded person. All right, great. Just checking in with the chats. Don't forget, give me a thumbs up if you're there. Share the meeting if you're enjoying it. Dominique, hi, welcome along. Carla is here from Angola. Hi, Carla. Thanks for coming. Option 2 for your communities and which ones you could join. Free communities. These are bigger groups that are already set up and are run by other people. Now, there's some pros and cons to free communities. Pro is free. It's great. It's already set up, and there's probably hundreds or thousands of people who are already there saying, hey, I'm a sci-fi author, or hey, I'm a copywriter, who's like an email direct response copywriter, something like that. Well, those groups are set up and you can join them. Search online. You might find Discords. You might find Facebook groups, things like that, maybe here on LinkedIn as well. And I'm sure you'll get something from it. It'll be useful. The downside of free communities can be that the people who run them are not invested in making it the best experience possible, or the groups are too big, right? They're 10, 20, 40,000 people, and we can't moderate that. So sometimes these groups just become spam fests where authors and writers are just dropping their links and saying, hey, buy my book. Hey, here's a referral link for this service. Or, hey, here's a job. I want to hire someone. Well, that's just serving themselves. There's no common goal there. And it becomes less interesting to be a member of this group. But if you're thinking about joining, forces with other writers, this is a very good first step to take. I run a couple of free communities as well here on LinkedIn and on Facebook. And it can be a good idea to join those, especially if you're willing to stick to one or maybe two. The thing with free communities is you might think, oh, hey, there's lots and lots of great free communities. Let's join them all. Let's get all of this advice. Let's get all of the benefit from these different groups. The problem there is you're not really participating. You're not really regularly checking in. And that means that if everyone's like that in the group, then the group's not going to be giving that good quality advice. So if you're someone who is loyal, can stick to one place, you find a free community which is exactly what you want, and you're willing to become a key member of that group. You're willing to help others out, post ideas and content, to set things up and help with the running of the group, and you can become a key member. That can be a real benefit for you. People will know you, will reach out to you. Again, that takes the time and the dedication to find that right group for you. With a free group, I see Pete actually has just asked, I'm just going to show this, what's a suitable number of members? I think how long is a piece of string? It depends on what is being shared in the group. I would say if a community has more than 100 members, it needs more than one person dedicated to its running, right? Because otherwise it's a free-for-all of everyone posting different things. We can't really moderate what's happening in the group, and the value that the members are getting will probably be reduced. So yeah, a lot of these free groups have thousands of members, but they're only really owned by people to just boost their own figures and just use it as a mouthpiece, right? To say, hey, here's a product for you to buy, and eventually I'm going to have 10,000 people to market to. Thanks for that question, though, Pete. What was I talking about before that question? Forgotten. But there's pros and cons to these kinds of groups. Sticking to one can be a good example, good idea. Yeah, I was going to say, with all of these people joining the groups, they often come from quite different backgrounds and with different types of writing. So, I'm thinking of some groups I know from Facebook, which are, devoted to copywriting or to content writing. And it seems like, everyone joins them and gets involved because they think, I could gain something from this. But the broader the group, right, the more people it caters to, the more watered down the benefit is. That's my perspective. But I would say these free groups, go ahead, look for them, join them, and they're good if you want to stick to one place and try and become a key member of that group, because that's how you'll get the most out of it. Paul, yeah, thanks for this. Says free members rarely participate. Yeah, that's my experience as well. And I think I should say I'm a member of lots of free communities and groups as well, and they can be useful. I probably don't value them as much as other groups that I am a member of. You've guessed it. What's the third option? It involves money. Paid communities. Now, a few things to remember here before we get into paid communities is, yes, there is a person or a group of people who are running a business here. They are asking for your money in return for a benefit. And that is because hopefully they are writers themselves. They've been through the kinds of challenges that you are going through, and they know what's up, right? They should be an experienced member of, experienced writer, experienced professional, if they're going to give advice on how to do things. But yeah, I would say many of the people who do run communities are really passionate about it, and they love what they do, and they want to help others. But of course, what we must remember before getting involved with any paid community is it for me? Is it for people who share my goals? Going back to that idea of, we are linked to the other people in the community, we share an identity or we share a goal. If that group is not speaking to you, it's not speaking to your identity. It says, oh, I fiction writers, and you're like, well, I'm a copywriter, so that doesn't apply. Or if it's, the goal is to, sell courses, sell writing courses, and you're like, well, I just want to, sell some articles. I want to do freelancing. It's not for you. So that's my first piece of advice, is really consider, is this aimed at people like me? Is this, for the goal that I have? Or who is this for? Essentially, ambitious writers, people who see their career in writing and their work as an investment. It's something that will pay them back, either in money, in increased opportunities, in a broader network, in having a larger number of readers, getting published. These are the kinds of gains that you can get back if you invest money. If you're someone who sees this as a cost, of like, oh, I don't want to pay, that cost because I only want to earn money from my writing, then maybe these paid communities aren't for you. We all need some kind of professional development, me included, and I think, so many other coaches and writers all need to be part of an ecosystem where they're learning as well as helping others. And that often involves paying for the privilege. So yeah, good for ambitious writers. If you're an ambitious writer, then these options are worth looking into, and there's a huge number of options, right? You will find all kinds of clever copywriting and all kinds of opportunities to try and hook you in, but always hold back and say, is this for me? Is this for my goal? Many of you may know, and one of the reasons I'm doing this webinar is that I have recently launched a community of my own. I can't believe I didn't do it earlier, because it's been so great to get this started. I'm super excited about it. I'm not someone who babbles about, who's very animated and being, I'm not someone who gets very excited very often, but I am excited about this. It is a community called Multilingual Writers Community. I told you at the beginning, multilingual writers are the people that I help with my courses and my coaching. So it seemed natural to me to start this community and to start getting people on board and chatting to each other. I'll tell you a bit more about it, and remember, stick around, because I'm going to give you a very cool opportunity in just a minute. The mission of my Multilingual Writers Community is to help multilingual writers future-proof their businesses. I talked about how this year has been crazy. I'm sure some of you agree, what with ChatGPT and all the changes in the industry and algorithms going crazy and companies either hiring or firing lots of people. We don't really know where we are, and we don't know exactly what skills we need to build. Writers need to be adaptable, and they need to be constantly learning and thinking and testing and changing and pivoting in order to stay ahead, in order to have plenty of opportunities going into 2024. So yeah, my mission is to help writers future-proof their writing careers, future-proof their businesses. That means they're going to have the know-how to move forward, to keep up with the changes that are happening, and to offer products and services and to write things that people want and that people want to pay for. Because at the end of the day, we're all here, and I think you're here too, because you're thinking, what's in this for me? How can I, how can I improve my life and my career? So that's the mission: help you future-proof your writing business. So whether you're a content writer, copywriter, translator, there's lots of people in this community who have different writing styles or types, but that's who I generally help. Well, I've just answered this question really, but just to clarify, multilingual writers means writers who are professionals. So you may be at the beginning of your career and you may want it to be your career, applying for jobs or looking for clients. You might be an experienced professional who's been writing for a long time and you want to really get proficient in English and you want to build your writing skill so that you can increase your income and get better opportunities. Multilingual writers are writers for whom English is a second language or another language, right? So if you speak more than one language and English isn't your first language, it's quite probable you work in English because the market for English language writing is much better than other languages. It's higher paying. There's many more opportunities. So that's who it's for. Pro writers who are multilingual, who speak English, and you probably have a very high level of English, like maybe C1, maybe even above C1, in order to write well. How does it work? Let me give you a quick tour. Well, there are three sections, three parts to this. Let me stop sharing this just for 1 second so you can come back and see me on screen. Yeah, three sections to what my multilingual writers community involves. And the first one is a little bit like this. It's where we all come along and sing along together. It's a video call. We have Q&As where you can drop in, and lots of writers just come along to ask questions, to share wins, to talk about their goals and solve problems. So if you need people to speak to, including experts like me and other writers, then you can come along, get involved in this weekly call. It's not mandatory to come, so there's no time commitment. There's replays available, but that's very useful. We also have workshops every month, which are expert workshops. They will be masterclasses on things like writing for social media. I think this month coming up, we've got storytelling, which is something I know a lot of people are interested in. So that's the first element of what this community involves. The second is learning opportunities. So I'll just share this. When you join the Multilingual Writers community, you'll get access to these three courses. This is just for starters. This is very cool. Business skills starter pack. So if you're a writer with your own freelance business, or if you're looking to apply for roles, then this will really help you get your profiles, your portfolios in order. There's lots of tips in there. Webinars and workshops. These are discussions I've had with experts. We've got our wonderful podcast, The Trouble with Writing, in there, and some workshops from the group as well, some of the previous ones, so you'll be able to catch up with those. And Style Mastery, this is a short mini course. This is like, it'll just take you 90 minutes or 2 hours to go through, and it'll help you master the art of natural style in English. I think style is one of the most important elements of writing. It's not just about writing accurately, but it's about writing style. So you get these cool courses. I'll be adding more as we move along through the iterations of this community. And the final and most exciting part, I think, of the community is our forum. Yeah, good, great. Everyone can see this. So you can see here our forum on Facebook. I chose Facebook. I know it's not everyone's favorite, but most people have an account. If you don't, you can just create a blank one, right? And then Mark Zuckerberg won't steal all of your lunch. We got 37 members already. Actually, a few more members have joined. We've got over 40 members, I think. A few people need to add themselves to the group. And this is in just a couple of weeks. I launched this 2 weeks ago, and I think maybe some of you have seen on Facebook. It's been so brilliant. I'm so happy with how many people are joining. I think, we're aiming for 100 members by end of the year, January. And as going into next year, I see this just growing and growing. There's going to be so many writers coming along. Writers from all over, lots of different types of professionals as well. And there's loads of cool stuff that's happening, lots of chat. So people are asking questions, they are giving each other tips, they're helping each other out with writing as well. We have memes and fun stuff too. And I give a lot of advice as well. So one of the useful things in this group is in our guides section, there's lots of daily content on things like more tips for your business, right? More tips so you can find clients, do outreach, that kind of stuff. Tips on language, of course. If English isn't your first language, we really need to nail some aspects of grammar and the style and voice of writing in English and vocabulary. So you'll get tips on that each week. There's tips on the craft of writing, so much more. And one of the things that I'm very pleased with and looking forward to, click the wrong button there. Let's go back to the community. Is this feedback lottery. So every month I'm going to be giving direct critique on some of our members' writing, right? So you can put your name into the hat and then I will give feedback on some of those. So you're going to get direct feedback from me, from others in the group, and loads of cool chat as well. So that's what's happening in this growing community. And if you have any questions about it, then please drop them in the chat. I'll get to those in a minute. But before we do, let's tell you why we're here and share what you've been sticking around for, I hope, which is a very exciting thing that I'm giving it for free. I also said that I am going to sell you something at the start of this webinar, and both are true. Here is what's happening for 3 days only. So that is going to be starting now, but it will include the next 3 days, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I am offering a free trial to come and check out my community. 31 days, it won't cost you anything. You can register and come and enjoy those courses. You can join our group calls. You'll get the workshop as well included, and loads of resources. I haven't even mentioned half of the stuff. And of course, join our Facebook group and join our community and come meet everyone. And I really hope it will benefit you. Now, remember, before you do sign up for this, I want you to go to the link, which I'll give you in a second, and ask that question. Is this for me, right? Is this speaking to the kind of writing that I do, to the kind of writer I am? Is it speaking to my goals, right? Do I need to future-proof my writing career? Do I need to build those high-demand skills in English? I hope you do. And if that's you, then go ahead and sign up. Now, I said I'm selling you something. This is a free trial where it is totally free. I'm asking you to put in your details. So you'll need to choose a subscription plan that can be either monthly or yearly. And after the trial, you'll be billed to be part of the community. If you don't want to continue with the trial, it's absolutely fine. There's no tricks, there's no foul play here. Just send me an email and you won't be charged, right? So I really advise everyone who is interested in this, everyone who likes what I write about and thinks my advice is useful and has a need for this community, to sign up. Here's the link. Nice simple link. I'm going to drop this in the various chats, but let me just drop it in a LinkedIn one. Go ahead. I hope the website doesn't crash with too many people trying to get this free trial. But as I said, if you're interested, check out all the information on that page and sign up now, because this will be gone in 3 days. I'm offering it one time only because I want to grow quickly to 100 members so that everyone is chattering away and meeting all of these other writers. And that's what's going to let us grow in this community to be even better next year. So englishwritingcoach.uk/trial. That's it. I've just added that in the LinkedIn chat. I hope it's okay. Yeah, so you can copy that text. Let me just add it as well for anyone watching on YouTube or Facebook. Great, I think it's already added. And yeah, if you have any questions about it, like please go to the page and check it out. If you've got any questions that you wanted to ask about communities in general, or about my community, or about the free trial, then go ahead, drop your questions in the chat and I will get to them. Okay, I'm going to leave this on screen just for a little bit longer, just in case anybody didn't get a chance to check out that link, englishwritingcoach.uk/trial. If you're heading over there, just drop that in the chat as well. If you signed up and you think it looks great, then let everyone else know. All right. Yeah, thanks for sticking around, everyone. We've got a couple of questions, so let's try and scroll back and see what those questions are. I'll say hi to anyone who I missed the first time around as well. All right. Rosanna, hi. I think, yeah, Moniva, welcome along, Moniva, sorry, joining us from Malawi, very cool. Pete and Paul, thanks for your chats and questions. Yeah, not really a question, but Paul says here, given uncertainty in AI and various writing fields, it's a good time to join a community. I think so. I'm doing my best to stay on top of what writers need to know. Paul says, I feel a strong need from community, but I'm a native speaker. Can I join? Of course you can join, Paul. Free trial, come along. Yeah, this isn't to exclude native speakers. I usually help multilingual writers because of my background in being a language professional. So my sort of skill set is, you know, being an expert on the English language and being a writer. So that's what I feel I can best help people with. But of course, yeah, we'd be glad to have you there, Paul. Pete, okay, just sharing some of your great comments here. If nobody gives to the community, nobody receives. Suitable number of members, yeah. I think that's most of the comments, questions. I hope I'm not missing any. If I did miss them, just type it again. All right, so I think that's questions dealt with. Don't forget, you have 3 days starting now, well, about 3 days and a few hours, to participate in this free trial opportunity. I'm never going to do it again, so please, if that page speaks to you and if you think, yes, that is the kind of help that I need and I'm keen to join all of those people that were already there in that community, then go ahead, englishwritingcoach.uk/trial. If you've missed anything or not sure about it, or you want to just send me a message, you can always connect with me on LinkedIn, send me a message. I'm on Facebook and Instagram as well, at English Writing Coach. So you can get in touch in any of those different ways, and I really hope to see you in the group. Thanks so much for coming, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find the community that's right for you. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing some of you in the group. Okay. Show's over, folks. Thanks a lot for coming. I will be back in a couple of weeks with another webinar, and have a good weekend.